some here for you. It's hidden. Find it. No, because then he'd call me. And he'll leave a short leash. You're on a short leash, Brown. Shut it. Have you?
Yes,
I know. Because it takes you 2 hours to get there. And that's just walking from his bedroom to the damn kitchen. So don't start it, Dick. Dick, don't start it. Dick, it's so good to see you. Yep. When? Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. I've done 3 out of the 6 weekends. That's it. He's had 6 already. Well, it got rained out. But 6, yeah. You know, Don passed away. Yeah. That's why I say, okay. My oldest grandbaby turned 1 Saturday, so I cut out a lot. I'll get to where I'm just doing this 2 days a week, and I won't do any weekends, and I'll just do this a couple days a week. Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's awesome. You had a group? Yeah. So Branson has a 6-month, and Price has a 1. And then Price also has a girl coming in September. All girls, boys? So 2 boys. Branson has a boy, Dawson, 6 months. Price, the younger one, has a boy, Bentley, and turned 4 Saturday. Then they got a girl coming. Yeah. Joe Redmond,
Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to the Union Baseball and Softball Complex. Tonight, your Union Redhawks are taking on the Broken Arrow Tigers. Let's meet tonight's starters first for our guests from Broken Arrow, the Tigers. Leading off, the shortstop, number 7, Jacob Lopez. Batting second and playing right field, number 4, Cannon Bedford. Batting third, the center fielder, number 22, Javen Devine. Batting cleanup, catcher, number 17, Luke Franks. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 18, Brody Tedesco. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 1, Brock Natali. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 2, Jaden Sharp. Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to Union Baseball and Soft Complex. Tonight, your Union Redhawks are taking on the Broken Arrow Tigers. Let's meet the starting lineups first for the visiting Broken Arrow Tigers. Leading off, the shortstop, number 7, Jacob Lopez. Batting second and playing right field, number 4, Cannon Bedford. Batting third, the center fielder, number 22, Javen Devine. Batting cleanup, the catcher, number 17, Luke Franks. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 18, Brody Tedesco. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 1, Brock Natali. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 2, Jaden Sharp. He will be DHing for tonight's starting pitcher, number 10, Landon Thiel. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 12, Colin Dean. And batting ninth, third baseman, number 14, Jaden Bedford. Head coach for the Tigers is Shannon Dobson. Now let's meet your Union Redhawks. Leading off, the shortstop, number 6, Cody Young. Batting second and playing second base, number 8, Isaac Ariche. Batting third, the center fielder, number 11, Asher Fowler. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, and also tonight's starting pitcher, number 25, Armando Gomez. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 19, Devin Blackwell. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 3, Zach Oliver. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 7, Sedonio Tahara. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 2, Carson Brooks. And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 15, Gavin Wilhelm. Head coach of the Redhawks is Sean Newkirk. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have friends and family that could not make it out to tonight's game, they can still watch it. Yes, today's game is being broadcast on the Union Sports Network. Tell them to go to unionsportsnetwork.com. Again, that's unionsportsnetwork.com. You can also see the archive game broadcast on USN this year or previous years. Resetting that, Red Hawk defense around the horn on first base. Number 7, Sedonio Tahara at second. Number 8, Isaac Ariche at third. Number 3, Zach Oliver, and at short, number 6, Cody Young. In the outfield, left field, number 19, Devin Blackwell. In center, number 11, Asher Fowler. And in right, number 15, Gavin Wilhelm. Starting battery for the Redhawks behind the plate. Number 2, Carson Brooks. And on the mound, number 25, Armando Gomez. And a very pleasant good evening to those of you who are watching on the Union Sports Network. Scott McCrary here alongside Tristan Ridenauer for our 6A District 4 matchup between your Union Redhawks and the Broken Arrow Tigers. Tristan, beautiful night for baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Really looking forward to two good ball clubs going head-to-head with Armando on the mound and Landon for Broken Arrow. It's going to be a fun night of baseball.
We'll get into the district standings a little later, but this is a very important game for the Redhawks right now, sitting at 2-4 in the district, but lots of room to make up. And my OSU Cowboys did what they did to do last night, taking a 3-game sweep from the top team in the Big 12. So tonight's when that Union ride starts.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to let Armando kind of lead the way there on the mound and let the defense work behind him. Maybe looking forward to see the offense scratch a couple across and feel good about tonight.
You win this game, you're within 1 game of Broken Arrow for 3rd place, and then you just take every game at a time. So, once again, it's a beautiful night for baseball. If you are near the ballpark, come on out. There's plenty of room to come and watch, but if not, we're glad you're here with us on the Union Sports Network. Leading off the top of the first inning for the Tigers, shortstop number 7, Jacob Lopez. Lopez, a big, tall young man. I would guess 6'2", 6'3" from my vantage point. And we are ready to play ball. Here's the windup and the pitch. Going to be low and outside for ball 1. Wind is blowing. It appears just lightly out to left center. Not going to be much of a factor tonight. Pop up on the second pitch to the infield to third baseman. That is Zach Oliver making that catch to record the first out of the night.
You really like how well Armando's able to work into righties there. I think it's one of the best pitches in baseball, fastball in on the hands.
Yes, it is. Now batting for the Tigers, right fielder number 4, Cannon Bedford. And as always, the best pitch in baseball is strike 1. And here's the first pitch, and it's going to be looped out to center, lazy, easy fly ball. So 3 pitches, 2 outs. That's what you like to see.
Absolutely, just keeping them in the rhythm, keep them in the zone. We like to say, get the barrel moving.
Now batting for the Tigers, center fielder number 22, Javen Devine. Anytime a pitcher can get 2 outs in 3 pitches, that helps you go a lot longer in games, which is what you need to do. Next up is the 3-hole for the Tigers. It's the center fielder, Javen Devine. Mondo looks in for the sign. Here's the pitch. Squares to bunt. It's going to roll foul for strike 1. Trying a little small ball with 2 outs to make something happen. I like how quickly Armando got off the mound, but that ball really would never had a chance of staying fair.
Yeah, definitely something you don't always see, your 3-hole, 2 outs, nobody on, and showing bunt first pitch. Not a bad idea.
Tigers don't seem to want to take many pitches today. They are coming up aggressive, looking at the first pitch. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's going to be just a bit low for ball 1 to move the count to 1-1 with 2 outs to the 3-hole hitter. Mono looks in, gets a sign. Now the wind is shifted to dead center. Here's the pitch, going to be inside for ball 2. 2-1 count. Mondo says, I want a different baseball. Pitchers are really different breed. They like the way certain baseball fields and other balls don't, so it's really strange.
They're a strange breed, but you need them. You need them.
Here's ball 3 to work the count to 3-1. So after the first bunt attempt, Devine has worked the count 3-1 in his favor. So here's the 3-1 pitch delivered, and it's going to be high for ball 4. So Devine is able to work and draw the 2-out walk. Devine draws a 2-out walk. Now batting, catcher number 17, Luke Franks. And as often happens, you could have had the catcher as your up first the next inning, but now he's taken off all his gear, so we'll have a nice little break between the innings. Armando looks in, gets the sign, checks the runner. Checks the runner again. Checks the runner again. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be stroked into left field in the hole between short and third. That's a solid hit there by Franks, and they are coming up aggressive at the plate. So we have a 2-out single. Courtesy runner for the Tigers. Number 5, Jax Gibson. Now batting first baseman, number 18, Brody Tedesco. So the Tigers with a 2-out rally here. They have runners on first and second with the 2 outs, and the 5-hole first baseman Brody Tedesco comes up. He hits it right back to Armando, who is going to try to make the off-balance throw. And that's going to be an error that will allow 2 runs to score. And just like that, the Tigers have the 2-0 lead on the E1. I think in that situation, you maybe just eat the ball and try to get your next batter.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's hard to blame.
Yeah, it's just the ball hit him in the back, and then he tried to make the play. So now batting second baseman number 1, Brock Ntali.
Yeah, hard to blame Armando there, just trying to make a play. But I think I would agree, just do your best to eat that and let you work on the next batter with 2 outs there. But it's all right.
So 2 outs, runner on second. Tigers have the 2-0 lead early. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be just inside. Called a ball. So there should be a clear. And throw it down to second. Not going to be in time. Trying to throw behind the runner.
Yeah, I really love that from Carson. I think, you're looking for outs back there, especially with 2 outs and kind of trying to settle your pitcher down. Just let him know, hey, I'm going to do my best to help you out and
it's going to keep
for one.
Yeah, it's going to keep that runner closer. So on a light, like maybe a single to shallow center field or left field, he's not going to be able to get home.
Right.
And there's a called strike on the outside corner to bring the count to 2-1. Mondo just needs to buckle down here and just work on his batter.
Yeah, I feel good about him in attacking this 6-hole hitter here.
2-1 count. Here's the pitch. It's going to be struck right to the shortstop. He's up with it and across the mound for the 3rd out. So that will end the inning as the Tigers are able to score 2 on 1 hit, 1 error, and have 1 left. And halfway through the first, BA leads 2-0.
Shields is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products. From our golf simulator, service shop, archery lanes, and more, we're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
And welcome back to Union Baseball. Redhawks trail 2-0 after the top of the first. Let's look at that Redhawk lineup. First 3 up for the Redhawks. Shortstop Cody Young, second baseman Isaac Ariche, and center fielder Asher Fowler. And right now, Tristan, you're just wanting to put some hits together or some walks and just get some guys on base and let your guys help your pitcher out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it goes without being said, leadoff man on's a huge part. I think we're a team that's got some speed and able to kind of put the ball in play, put some pressure on some defenses. So looking forward to getting it started right.
Leading off the bottom of the first inning for the Red Hawks, shortstop number 6, Cody Young. Be very interesting to see the Red Hawk approach. BA's approach was obviously to swing early and often. Be interesting to see if we take that same approach or if maybe we try to work the pitcher and make him show us some pitches. And here's the windup and the first pitch, and a attempted bunt by Cody Young will go foul for the 0-1 count.
Yeah, you love the makeup of Cody. I mean, left-handed hitting shortstop, those guys are well sought after at the next level, and for him to square around right there. Third base playing in just a little bit.
Here's a windup in the second pitch, and it must have been just high or just outside because it looked to be right there, but we'll take it. 1-1 the count as pitcher Landon Thiel from Broken Arrow gets a sign. Here's another pitch, and that is right down the middle for strike number 2. So Thiel is able to get ahead in the count, 1-2. So now we got to protect the plate. Young will be looking just to put it into play. Here's a pitch and a lazy fly ball. It's going to be out to left center. Left fielder will be there to make the catch for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Luke Franks is working well back there. I mean, I think he
now batting second baseman number 8, Isaac Ariche. Sorry, didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, not a problem.
It's our first game together. We'll get that down.
Absolutely. Working well back there, like I was saying. I think it's important for catchers when they receive. It's not necessarily turning balls into strikes. It's just keeping strikes as strikes. And I think we're going to see both catchers do a really good job of that tonight.
First pitch is a cold strike on the outside corner. Here's the windup and the pitch. I hear some dogs on the first base dugout. That's our players making some noise. Fouled off for strike 2, so Thiel quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 to Ariche. Ariche standing in. That's going to be way high for ball 1. Those are the kind of pitches as a batter down 0-2 you like to see, because that wasn't even something you would even think about swinging at. So 1-2 the count.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a breaker in the dirt here. Oh, good job.
And nice call, but it's going to ground out to second base for the 4-3 put out. Nice call by you, knowing as a former catcher what you would call. Now batting center fielder number 11, Asher Fowler. So let's see if the Red Hawks can do what the Tigers did. The Tigers got 2 quick outs on 3 pitches and then strung together a walk, a hit, and a 2-run error. So let's see what the Red Hawks can do. Here's the windup and the pitch. And swing over the top for strike 1. Was that an off-speed pitch, maybe a little slider?
Yeah, it looked like it was a kind of back foot, maybe, yeah, like you said, like a slider.
Here's a windup in the pitch, and that's going to catch the outside corner. And you look at Fowler, he's like, oh, he really wanted that one. He started swing and then didn't pull the trigger, and he was frustrated with himself. But, hey, 2 outs, protect the plate, put the ball in play, and see what happens.
Yeah, Landon's got a really good run, and that ball is riding away from those left-handed hitters for Union. And
the Red Hawks are going to go down in order. So after 1, Broken Arrow leads 2-0.
Does your school or organization need athletic apparel or spirit wear? Let me suggest Inkwell, a Tulsa-based company that can get you the quality you deserve at unheard of and unmatched lead times. Talking 2 weeks or less, not 2 months like most others, and can do it as much as 60% less than most of the big guys out there. So join the likes of Sand Springs, Union, Broken Arrow, Jinx, Oolaga, and Glenpool, to name a few, and get your customized sublimated uniforms, including Under Armour, Nike, or Adidas at InkwellNation.com.
And welcome back to Union Baseball Field, as the Tigers will have 7, 8, 9 due up. That would be Jaden Sharp, the designated hitter, Colin Dean, the left fielder, and Jaden Bedford, the third baseman. And we were talking during the commercial break that Thiel seemed to just be right there in that rhythm already, and it'll be interesting to see what the approach is, because when a pitcher gets in a rhythm like that, it makes him even hard to beat.
Yeah, I don't feel worried about Armando coming back in the second inning and just executing the pitches he needs to do. One thing I would tell pitchers all the time is, let's just get out of the first. get out of the first and then kind of get those first tee jitters out of the way and go and execute the rest of the game.
And he really didn't pitch badly.
No, definitely not.
He just, we had the error that really that hurt, but
yeah.
he throws strikes and got the ground ball he needed. Unfortunately, it went off his back, and then because he had to find it and turn around and find the ball and throw it quickly, he threw it off balance and went awry. Leading off the top of the second inning for the Tigers, the designated hitter number 2, Jaden Sharp.
Yeah, I think to your point, I would. That's one thing if I'm Carson behind the plate. That pitching-catching relationship is so important. I'm just reminding him, hey, oh, what a play.
That's going to be an infield single on the first pitch, and actually an outstanding job by the third baseman there, Zach Oliver, to knock it down and just was unable to come up with it cleanly to get up. So Sharp reaches on an infield single. Now batting left fielder number 12, Colin Dean. So the Tigers get the leadoff batter on. Armando looks. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like we're in a, for sure bunt situation.
He did call a strike on that. He squared up, and it looked like he tried to pull it back, but it looked like he called it. It made contact with the bat, so 0-1 count. So Armando is ahead in the count. So as a catcher, what would you be calling here on a 0-1 count with a 8-hole trying to bunt it over?
Yeah, I think, with it being this early in the game, down 2 runs, I think you're okay with letting them swing here, even put the bunt down. You trading out for a run or an advancement.
So there's a pitch and a hard hit ball that runs foul, and the ball is actually sitting on the infield line, but they don't realize that, and they're going to go ahead and play 0-2 count. Very interesting that the umpire is allowing play to go because the ball is actually still on the field. Armando's going to help him out by throwing over towards first and trying to keep that runner close. I like that from Armando. The base runner didn't appear to have a lot of speed, but you never want to give a guy a big lead because if it's a hit and run or a bunt, then they get that extra jump. It could turn what would be just 1 base into 2 bases. Here's a windup and the pitch, and nice curveball. Oh, not sure where that was. That one looked like right over the plate, but I don't know.
Yeah, it
1-2 the count.
Could have been one of those ones that just broke above the zone and dropped in late. Really good pitch.
Here's the windup and the pitch, and it's going to be fouled off and out of play down the right field line to keep the count at 1-2.
I really like this sequence right now. You're in a spot, if you're Carson or Armando, that you can kind of throw whatever you want and feel good about what's to come next. Really looking for a double play here.
Here's a windup and the pitch. That's going to be strike 3. Took something off there for the swinging strike out. That's 1 out for the Tigers. Now batting third baseman number 14, Jaden Bedford. That was a nice pitch right there. Way to come back and get the runner or the batter.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of starting that thing on the outer half of the plate, letting it work off, getting the swing and miss there. Still got the double play in order, looking to get a ground ball here.
Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be lifted into, I call that really short left field. Shortstop is able to go over and make that play. So 2 outs, and to the top of the order we go. Now batting the top of the order, shortstop number 7, Jacob Lopez. So Lopez, who popped out to third base his first time up. We'll see if he can do something with 2 outs. Armando checks the runner at first, comes set. Checks the runner again, Here's the pitch. And he's going to ground it to short. Shortstop's going to pick it up, throw it to first base for the out. So great job by Armando to work around the leadoff single to keep that runner at first base.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
And we're back here at Union Baseball. Redhawks will have pitcher Armando Gomez, who's also acting as the DH today. He'll lead off things, followed by left fielder Devin Blackwell and third baseman Zach Oliver. And hopefully the Redhawks can get something going here early in the second.
Yeah, you'd like Armando to kind of take what he did in that top half of the second, settling in there and getting the outs where you need to at the bottom half of the lineup, turn that into a base hit here.
Leading off the bottom of the second for the Redhawks, the designated hitter, number 25, Armando Gomez. So let's see if the pitcher can help himself out. It's one thing I love about high school baseball is you still see pitchers who bat.
And it's starting to become more and more of a thing at the next level, too. And now with Shohei Ohtani doing what he does at, the best in the biz.
And that is a called strike on the outside corner. Hearing some questions in the booth. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that's low. And that will be ball one to work the count to 1-1. And as a pitcher, you've just got to be calm, cool, and collected here, just looking for your pitch. Here's the windup and the pitch. Gomez is going to stroke it down the third base line. That's going to be good. He's going to at least get a double out of this. And since it went to third base line, he's probably going to stand there. I guess you could try to stretch it into a triple, but that's a nice leadoff double for Armando.
Yeah, good job hanging back on that breaking ball and squirting it down the line.
That's a leadoff double for Armando Gomez. Now batting the left fielder, number 19, Devin Blackwell. So the Redhawks have a runner at second with no outs. So when you were a coach, what would you do here? Would you be looking to bunt him over and get your runner to third with one out, chance to cut the lead in half, or you letting your 5-hole swing away here?
I think, for me, I'm bunting here. But Coach Newkirk's done this way longer and knows more about me, so I am not in any way.
Here's the windup and the pitch, and it's going to be fouled off to the first base side. We were talking right before the game started about how these two coaches, Shannon Dobson and Sean Newkirk, have been battling for almost really decades because they've been around for a long time and they know each other really well. So I'm sure that plays a little into it. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's going to be fouled off to make the count 0-2. So Blackwell stays alive. We got the rally charge going. Thiel looks in to get this call, looks back at the runner at second. Here's windup and the pitch. And it's fouled off again. So 3 pitches, 3 foul balls. Blackwell doing a good job at the plate.
Yeah, he's doing a good job hanging with that fastball. You'd like to see him kind of get caught up on one here and hit a hard ground ball to the right side, move that runner to third.
Yeah, with 2 outs, you're inside, almost hit him. So the count is 1-2. Yeah, when you're down 0-2 in the count or even 1-2 in the count, you want to protect the plate. But if you're going to put it in play, the best thing to do is to put it on the right side so that runner has a vision to get over to third. Most teams are going to take the out at first. Here's a windup and the pitch. He fouls it off again. So great job by Devin, just battling there at the. That's what you want from your 5-hole, not an easy out. You want to battle and work the pitch, and the more pitches he throws, the tighter he's going to get.
Yeah, 100%. He's definitely sticking with his approach here, being really short with 2 strikes and putting together a really good at-bat.
Thiel will look back at the runner at second. Here's the pitch. It's a curve ball that curves late, but it's also high, so moves the count to 2-2 to even the count. So Blackwell now goes from 0-2 back to 2-2. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, you kind of hope Landon gets that one over the plate. I think if he's able to get that breaking ball over the plate, he's going to kind of speed up. He's going to kind of speed up Devin's bat and probably hit one pretty hard here. But really done a really, really nice job of working this from 0-2 to 3-2 and again, tacking on that pitch count for Landon.
Love the patience here by Blackwell. Here's the windup and the pitch, and once again fouls it off. So, and you can see just a little bit of frustration on Thiel. I think he overthrew that pitch right before this, and it went in the dirt and really wasn't much for Devin to even consider swinging at. And then he throws one on the outside corner, and fouls it. Everything that's been close, he's fouled off is what I'm trying to say. So
Right. Yeah, no, I think what I really appreciate after watching this at-bat so far is how deep the ball's getting for Devin. That's going to allow him to kind of stay on plane with that breaking ball if it ever shows up.
There's a windup in the pitch, and it's going to be driven to right field on a line and right where the right fielder was lined up. So that's a nice AB by Blackwell. Unable to move the runner, but did a good job at getting lots of pitches.
Yeah, you can see.
Now batting third baseman number 3, Zach Oliver.
You can see Coach Newkirk make a point to go down and congratulate Devin on the really well executed at bat. I mean, it's not always about getting hits; it's about seeing pitches, hitting the ball hard, and battling in counts. And Devin did an excellent job of that right there.
Well, and the other thing you're doing is you're giving your batters that are coming up more pitches to look at. They're standing over on the side, seeing how the curveball's coming in, the slider's coming in, the fastball's coming in. You're able to see the release points. So,
yeah,
great job at AB there.
Absolutely, just giving everybody else on deck a chance to get their timing down. And as I like to put it, hitting is timing and confidence. If you're confident in the box and with your approach and you're on time with the pitch, you're going to be a pretty scary guy to throw to. So that was an awesome AV from Devin. Looking forward to seeing what Zach can do here.
First pitch was a ball. Second pitch is going to be in there for a strike to draw the count to 1-1 with 1 out. Armando just standing out there at second. Be interesting to see if he tries to get a little more lead. Thiel did a pretty good job of checking him. He normally just checking him once. Great job behind the plate by the Broken Arrow catcher because that was not even close for ball 2. And that could have very easily gotten by and gotten Armando to third. So nice job by Franks there to block the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping that ball out in front is really important. It's really important for that pitcher-catcher relationship, too, knowing you don't have to be perfect on the mound, and that guy behind the plate is going to work hard.
2-1 offering is going to be fouled off by Oliver right back at us to draw the count to 2-2. So 2-2 the count, 1 out, runner on second. Here in the bottom of the second inning, Tigers lead 2-0 over the Redhawks. Zach Oliver at the bat, Armando at second. Here's the windup and the pitch. Oh, that's wow. We were a little frustrated about one of our pitches. I bet that one looked like, though, it broke a little late and was probably a little low to draw the count to 3-2. But catcher wanted to check swing, but with the batter or the umpire at second base, you're not going to get that call very often.
Yeah, it's hard to get that appeal with that angle from Richard Stickney out there in the field.
3-2 the count, and it's going to be bounced to third base. And Armando, they called Armando safe.
Wow.
I'm not going to lie. It looked like he got it. We'll take it. And so that'll be a rule, a fielder's choice on the play by Oliver. And Coach Dobson's going to go out and have a talk with the umpire and say, sir, did he not run out of the baseline? I don't know.
It seemed like it was just simply a missed tag. Kind of got lucky there, Armando. Ball out in front of you. You got to kind of read the throw over to first before we advance to third, but was able to kind of sneak one away there. I really like this situation right here.
Now batting first baseman number 7, Sidonio Tejera. So Sidonio Tejera up to bat with the 1 out and runners on the corners.
Really like this situation right here. We're less than 2 outs with what looks like some speed at first. Got a first and third situation going.
That's going to be a cold strike, 1 on the outside corner. That's a nice pitch by Thiel to
can't help but to think what Coach Newkirk is kind of scheming up here. This is a great offensive situation, I think, with some power at the plate, some speed over at first.
Thiel will step off and fake it to third and first. 0-1 count. Runners on first and second for the Redhawks. It's going to be fouled. Oh, nice job by the first base coach to duck and get out of the way of that foul ball. Brings the count to 0-2 for Tejera. And first base umpire Richard Stickney saying, is anybody going to go get that ball or do I need to do it? Here's the 0-2. Well, once again, he's going to step off. Thiel's going to step off and not really even fake a throw to third or first. Just
just keeps that's what is called a 31 move. It's actually been considered a balk at the next level and professionally as well, but still legal here in high school baseball.
And I think that was a planned pitch. It was a pitch up, not pitch out. He threw it high, and it looked like the catcher was prepared to throw down to first and hoping to maybe catch the runner sleeping down there, but great job by Oliver to get back in there under the tag.
Yeah, you can see Zach's really working hard to try to get a good jump here.
Oh, here's a windup and a pitch outside, and ooh. Franks did a good job of blocking that to make the count 2-2. I'm really surprised that Oliver didn't take off there.
Yeah, I think
the ball in the dirt.
I think you saw Coach Justice kind of talking to him about it. Sometimes they just don't have the right read, and whatever it is, you can't be hesitant on the base pass. So if he doesn't have it, probably staying put's the best bet.
There's a throw over by Thiel to keep Oliver close. I think it got into Thiel thinking, oh, well, now he might try to go. 2-2 count.
Going.
There he goes, and it's a hit and run, and it's going to be fouled off for the foul ball. So Oliver will trot back to first. I like that, though. I like starting the runner, trying to put everybody in motion, see what can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if that's an unplanned hit and run, if he's able to hit that in that 34 hole over there. Oh, that's a good piece.
That's going to be a single. That's going to be an RBI single for Tahara. And Oliver will stop at first, so the Redhawks have cut the lead to 2-1. Nice piece of hitting there. Just took it the other way. Didn't try to do anything with it special. Just swatted out into right field for the RBI single. That's an RBI single for Tahara. Now batting the catcher number 2, Carson Brooks.
Yeah, you love to see that Armando guy on the mound trying to do a good job of limiting runs and then scoring one himself for Union there. That's a good thing to see.
So 2-1 in favor of the Tigers. Runners on first and second for the Redhawks, and catcher Carson Brooks at the plate. The first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, Carson probably just asking, hey, is that as far as you'll go? That's a pitcher's pitch right there.
Second pitch is going to be called strike 2. That one appeared to be a little high and outside, but that's great for Carson because he now knows, okay, if you're going to call that against me, I expect that same call when I'm behind the plate as the catcher. Here's the 0-2 count.
You can see Luke calling for that. There we go.
And there's a pitch in the dirt, and both runners will advance on the wild pitch to bring the count to 1-2. You started to say something.
Yeah, no, you could see Luke Franks for Broken Arrow behind the plate, seeing how far out he can get, trying to take advantage of that. Just need ground ball here, scores a run.
1-2 count. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be fouled back. Nice job of protecting the plate by Brooks. Once again, I think Broken Arrow would trade the out for the run if you put this on the right side of the infield.
Yeah, it looks like infield's playing back. The only thing keeping you from scoring here is a hard ground ball to third base, I'd say. Everything else is going to work.
It's going to be a wild pitch way outside, and that is going to tie the game on the wild pitch. And Tahara will move up to third. The count will go level at 2-2, and now the leading run is standing at third base with only one out. So now a sac fly, a ball to the right side, a hit will all get you a wild pitch, a balk. Numerous ways for the Hawks to score here.
Looks like they're bringing the infield in, trying to cut that run down at the plate, so looking to try to get some elevated. Good swing. Good
nice
swing.
Job by Brooks to battle there. Just gets a piece of it. 2-2 count, one out. Scoreboard reads 2 runs for the Tigers on 2 hits, the 1 Red Hawk error. Redhawks have 2 runs on 3 hits, and a runner at third will give them the lead early in this ball game. Thiel looks in. Here's the windup and the pitch. And he just is going to say, I got it right here. He's going to throw it right down the pipe, and Brooks swings over the top of it for strikeout and out number 2. Now batting right fielder number 15, Gavin Wilhelm. So Wilhelm will step up to plate.
Yeah, I think Carson, it's hard as a catcher, you're trying to distinguish, defensive emphasis, but some offense. You want to hit, and I think going back to the dugout, he needs to remind himself he put some good swings on the ball and just go back and go throw up a 0 with Armando up on the mound.
That first pitch was about 2 feet outside but called a strike. Here's the second pitch, and it's going to be fouled off. So Wilhelm is behind the count 0-2.
Definitely giving them some room to work away from hitters. Carson got to see that in his at-bat. You'd like to think he takes that over behind the mound coming up to the top half of the inning.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's going to be fouled off by Wilhelm down the third base line this time. So he's fouled it off to the first base line. He's fouled it off to the third base line. And now we have a ball on the field, and good job by the third baseman to go get that. Tosses it over to Coach. Is that Coach Brown on third?
Little Brown.
Coach Justin Brown. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Thiel gets it look. Wind up and the pitch. It's going to be low and outside. So exactly where he called the second pitch a strike, but that's all right. Hey, I wouldn't want his job. It's hard. We have a shortage of umpires, and we appreciate these guys coming out and calling balls and strikes for us. 1-2 the count. Here's the wind up and the pitch. And it's going to be swapped back into first, back to shortstop. It's going to be close. He's going to – oh. Richard Stickney at first base says that Mr. Wilhelm is out. So the Redhawks will score 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base.
Select Commercial
for the Redhawks, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. After 2, we are tied at 2.
Firm specializing in commercial real estate services. David Roberts heads up the group with over 40 years of management experience and over 20 years in the real estate market. Sarah Bergeson, Scott Jobe, Jason Smith, Amy Bauman are skilled professionals that are poised to help you achieve your goals. Select Commercial Group treats their clients like family. With a wealth of experience and expertise in the industry, they are dedicated to providing exceptional services to clients seeking commercial real estate solutions. Whether you are looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest in commercial properties, their expertise covers various sectors, including office spaces, retail properties, industrial facilities, and more. Select Commercial Group is the go-to partner for all your commercial real estate needs. Call 918-695-6979 or 918-394-0700. A sponsor of the Union Redhawks.
And welcome back to Union Redhawk Baseball, as the game is now tied 2-2 with the Tigers. Looking at the district standings coming into tonight's game, Bixby and Stillwater sit atop the district at 6-0. Broken Arrow and Bartlesville are tied for third at 4-2. Norman and Union are tied for fifth at 2-4, and then Muskogee and Northwest Classen are tied for seventh at 0-6. No, Classen and Bixby are playing a doubleheader tonight, but if you can get this win tonight, get within 1 game of Broken Arrow, go over to Broken Arrow tomorrow, win there, then you're tied going into the next week's action. Leading off the top of the third inning for the Tigers, right fielder number 4, Cannon Bedford. So Bedford will step up to the plate. He flew out to center field on a first pitch in the first inning. Armando back on the mound after getting that first run, and what a nice first pitch right down the middle for strike 1, and best pitch in baseball, strike 1.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a pretty nasty breaker to get over the plate. Good 0-1.
Armando looks in, gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to bounce back to shortstop. Shortstop's going to charge. He's going to get it off.
What a play.
And he got him. What an outstanding play by shortstop Cody Young there to get the ball, and then also a great job by Tahara to scoop it for the first out. That was going to be a bang-bang just because of the spin of the ball. Now batting center fielder, number 22, Javen Devine. Devine walked the first time up and was able to come around and score on the error in the top of 1. Armando checking in. The wind is now blowing out to dead center. It's now shifted. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that's a beautiful strike over the outside corner. Appeared to be a breaking ball for the 0-1 count.
Yeah, that's 2 guys in a row now. He started.
There's another breaking ball. It's going to be popped up to first base, and they are communicating. And the second baseman, Isaac Ariche, is going to call off the first baseman to make the play. So we've had a ground out to short, a pop up to second. Time for a line out to third, maybe. Now batting the catcher, number 17, Luke Franks. So Franks will step up to plate for Broken Arrow. He singled the last time up.
You can see Armando's kind of changing the way he's attacking these guys. The sequencing here. He's got to stay in the park. It looks like it. There we go.
And Tejada stays with it and Tejada stays with it and records the out for the Redhawks, and the Tigers are down in order. The Tigers are down in order.
The start of the game part 2 with leadoff hitter Cody Young coming up to play.
Yeah, top of the order will start out the bottom of the third inning for the Redhawks. And, we talked about Armando and, how he had the rough first inning, but how important it was for him to get that double and then to come around and score and kind of got his mojo back. And you said he was working backwards, and he appeared to make the BA batters a little bum-fuzzled. I wanted to use that word once, so he was bum-fuzzled. I told someone I worked that in, so I've now worked that into the broadcast. So,
yeah, Armando did a good job of working those first 2 hitters backwards, meaning starting with some off-speed and then coming in with the fastball with that third hitter to get them off timing out on their front foot for the first 2 and then late for the third.
Leading off the bottom of the third inning for the Redhawks. The top of the order, shortstop, number 6, Cody Young. So Cody Young will lead off, and he flew out to left to first time up. Sorry, go ahead.
But, yeah, Scott, no, just to your point, Armando did a good job of settling in after that first inning, giving up 2 runs on his error, having the double, scoring the run, and just doing a really nice job of attacking hitters.
And can I just say, it is a beautiful night. After all that rain we had last week, this week is going to be beautiful. Beautiful night to be at the ballpark. The sun is shining. The Redhawks are hitting. Thiel looks in and gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. And it's going to be swing and a miss. Strike 1 for Young. He just reached back and threw that right by him. I think caught Cody maybe just a little off by surprise. Looks in. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's the breaking ball outside. Doesn't break until late to make the count 1-1. Young 0 for 1 on the night. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's going to be over the inside corner for called strike 2. He's right there. I'm not going to question it. Grounder to second base for the. He rolled over on that one for the 4-3. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not watching our broadcast. I'm watching the pitcher. So maybe that was a strike. So I'm going to defer to our. And you know how it is. You're always going to think that your home team's not getting the calls. That's how it is. Now batting second baseman number 8, Isaac Ariche.
100%. I think nothing wrong with a big zone as long as it's consistent. Get guys swinging the bat.
And that's like any sport. Coaches just want it to be called consistently. First pitch is going to be grounded to shortstop. He's going to throw the ball over. He's going to beat it. Ariche turns on the Jets, and the shortstop just kind of lobbed that over like kind of nonchalantly.
Yeah, you can't help but wonder if he had the right grip on the ball, so it kind of maybe came out funny.
He was moving to his right, so it kind of took him off balance. But now batting center fielder number 11, Asher Fowler. So Fowler steps up to bat. He struck out the last time swinging. Runner on first with 1 out. Landon Thiel, the pitcher for Broken Arrow. He got some starts last year near the end of the year when BA had a lot of injuries and did a really nice job. In fact, I want to say that in some of his tournaments, he was their 3 or 4 guy. and he's obviously their ace this year. He throws over to first. Runner's back. Here's a wide up and the pitch. It's going to be fouled off by Fowler.
Coach Newkirk right now definitely got the wheels turning. Got some options offensively here. Your 3-hole hitter up to bat, but also with some speed at the plate, some speed at first base. 1 out, looking to get something going here.
Here's the 0-1 count. Deal looks in. Still looking. Now he'll check over to first. Comes set. He's going to throw. He's going to lob it over. That's not his move. That's just like, hey, I'm still watching you. Throw it over there. He does have a really nice move to first. We've seen him throw over a couple times and been really close to getting the batter. We'll just lob that one over. Here's the wide up and the pitch. And that's going to be high and outside. I'm going to pause before every pitch because the ones I think are strikes seem to be balls, and ones I think are balls are strikes. So,
yeah, I really like how Isaac's working at first base right now. Really active.
Here's a wide up hand. Oh, and there's the bunt. And that's going to move the runner to second. Nice job by Thiel to field his position and get the runner at first. But that's a nice job by Fowler to move his runner into scoring position for Mr. Double, Armando Gomez. Now batting the designated hitter number 25, Armando Gomez. If you missed the first inning, the second inning, Armando turned on one and took it down the left field line, right past the diving third baseman for a easy stand-up double that started the rally that got the Redhawks 2 runs. Thiel does not like the call that he was given, so he asked the catcher to go through the signs again. He has it now. Checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside for ball 1.
Really good job by Asher there to get the bunt down, move that runner to scoring position with 2 outs here, 4-hole up.
1-0 the count to Gomez. Gomez sees the pitch. He's going to foul that. Oh, nice job in the dugout by Zach Oliver I think he avoided that. He did a nice little jump off the. Oh, and Jamie Harris is over there too. Someone give that woman a batting helmet.
It seemed as if Addie Newman didn't budge, and all the players were out of there. Addie being tough in the.
Well, I mean, that's Dan Newman's daughter, enough said, right? Here's a windup in the pitch, and that's going to be fouled back and out of play to bring the count to 1-2 to Gomez. Runner on second. Game tied at 2, 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Landon Thiel, the ace for Broken Arrow, has had runners on in the second and third inning, and there's going to be one right back up the middle, and that's going to get a run home. That's going to be an RBI single for Gomez. So now Gomez has an RBI single and a leadoff double. So he's got a single and double, and that's just in case the second baseman tried to stab it, and when he dove, he caught a piece of it, and it actually slowed the ball down, which allowed Ariche to come around third and score easily. Now batting left fielder number 19, Devin Blackwell.
Really interesting going with the breaking ball there, 1-2. I know, we're looking to get that down in the dirt. Armando seemed to be a little bit behind that fastball, so by hanging that breaking ball over the plate, you essentially speed up his barrel, which allowed him to hit a hard ball up the middle for an RBI single.
Called strike 1-2 Blackwell. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's going to be outside. Oh. Going to be called. It's going to be outside for a strike. That ball was that was a Greg Maddox pitch. I'll just put it that way. And Greg Maddox is my all-time favorite pitcher. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's high for ball 1.
I think even Luke Franks thought that was a ball as well.
Count is 1-2 to Blackwell. That's all right. He's just making it interesting. Thiel gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. He's going to throw it right down the middle, and it's going to be grounded to short. Second baseman's not covering. Second baseman was not covering and made that a very close bang-bang play. I think that's the right call. I think he actually did get there just in time. But that's all right because the Redhawks score 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and have 1 left.
When summer heats up and your AC isn't working right, be cautious of being pressured into a replacement.
It's always a good idea to get a second opinion, and Airco will let you know if your AC is worth fixing.
So call Airco today for a free second opinion.
And welcome back to Union Baseball on the Union Sports Network. Due up for the Tigers will be the 5, 6, 7 holes. Tedesco, the first baseman, Natali, the second baseman, and the designated hitter, Jaden Sharp. Tedesco reached on the error that led to the 2 runs. Really, just all he did was threw the ball out there, threw the bat out there and made contact, and it bounced off Armando's back, and Armando rushed to make the throw. And
yeah, I think Union did a good job there. You know, you could essentially break up a ball game into thirds, right? I know we only play 7 here, but nine innings, you could break it up into thirds, and Union winning that first third, you try to make it a game within a game. Control what you can control. By winning that first third is a good start into the rest of the game.
Redhawks lead 3-2 going into the top of the 4th inning. And we are about ready to get back to action. Leading off the top of the 4th inning for the Tigers. First baseman number 18, Brody Tedesco. So Tedesco reached on error his last time up on the ball back to the pitcher, or off the pitcher, say it was a better way to put it. Gomez looking in, has a sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. Right down the middle of the plate for strike 1.
Carson did a good job with that pitch. Again, like I said earlier, keeping strikes as strikes. Pitcher's pitch from Armando there. Carson doing a good job of receiving and keeping that in the zone. Really well done.
That's such an art these days. Here's a windup and the pitch. Okay. We're not going to complain anymore. That's the exact same pitch he called a strike. Okay, so apparently 3 feet outside is a strike tonight. So
and it's interesting because both catchers now have kind of given up on that pitch away just to hear a strike call from behind them. So getting the bats moving tonight for sure and inducing swings.
Ball is fouled off to keep the count at 0-2. Gomez pitch is going to be bounced back to shortstop. Charge and record the easy outs. Nice job, 6-3. Nice job coming to the ball by Cody Young and tossing it over to Tahara for the out.
Looks like we're having some pitch complications with Coach Justice, but if I'm Coach Justice, I'm definitely telling him, hey, they're calling it 3 feet outside. Let's stay out there.
Now batting second baseman number 1, Brock Natali. Absolutely. I mean, if the umpire's going to give it to you, you should stay there until he stops giving it to you. And I'll tell you, this new technology with coaches talking into the earpiece, I like it, but the old guy in me doesn't like it. Here's the windup and the pitch, and it's going to be ball. Just a little high to the second baseman, Natali. Gomez has the pitch, and here it is. It's going to be outside. Yeah, I mean, and it's a 2-0 count to the second baseman. Armando has the call, and now he'll pitch. It's going to be fouled back forward, strike 1, 2-1 the count.
You can't help but to feel Armando starting to really get into this rhythm. He's working quick, which is what you like to see. Throwing strikes. Looks like him and Carson are working really well together right now.
You know, a lot of the aces in the big leagues, they'll have a rough first inning, but then they settle in that groove and then look out once they get in their groove. That pitch is going to be called high for ball 3 to bring the count to 3-1. So at hitters count. Here's the windup and the pitch by Armando. And it's going to be received just a bit low for the 1-out walk to Natali. Now batting the designated hitter number 2, Jaden Sharp. Sharp, who singled the last time up, was the only base runner of the second inning. Steps in against Gomez. Runner on first, 1 out. Gomez, here's the pitch. It's going to be fouled out of play for strike 1.
Really nice job getting in on that hitter there to get strike one. Coach Dobson definitely thinking about something offensively here.
As you mentioned, these two coaches have coached against each other so long, you think that it's like a chess match. Here's the next pitch, going to be fouled off to make the count 0-2.
No, I think putting baseball as a chess match is a great way to put it. It's not just throw a ball and hit the ball, field the ball. There's a lot that goes into this game that it makes it very, very fun to coach, to play, and as a spectator who understands it, you are watching two people play chess.
0-2 count to Sharp. Here's the pitch. Inside for ball one. Make the count 1-2. Runner on first. 1 out in the inning. Redhawks lead 3-2. Armando Gomez on the bump.
Carson, I'm trying to get a breaking ball just off the plate, maybe set up a strike him out, throw him out situation. There you go.
There is the throwdown, but it was ball 2, and the runner was able to get right back under that tag.
Carson's throwing the ball really well right now. I mean, we had the back pick to second, the back pick to first there. That ball's traveling with a lot of spin. It's a heavy ball. He's throwing it well. I want to see this guy go. Strike him out.
There he goes.
Great throw.
And they called the ball a ball, or just the pitch a ball, so that's a stolen base for Natali, and now a 3-2 count to the DH, Jaden Sharp.
Yeah, you really close with that breaking ball there. Was really, really close to strike him out, throw him out. Carson did a great job getting that breaking ball out of his glove and a really strong throw to second base. It's all right, though. We got an open base here, 1 out. You're not mad at a walk setting up a double play situation for your 8-hole hitter coming up.
Absolutely. Armando has the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. And he's going to strike out the designated hitter, Jaden Sharp, who swings over the ball for out number 2. Now batting left fielder number 12, Colin Dean.
Yeah, that's a great pitch there from Armando. Pitcher's pitch. You're okay with him taking that for ball 4 and putting him on first base with 1 out, setting up a double play. But because of how well he executed that pitch, you get the swing and miss, 2 outs.
Armando checks the runner at second. Checks him again. Here's windup and the pitch. And it's going to be stroked down the left field line, and that's going to score a run. That's just a nice piece of hitting there by Colin Dean, who just took the first pitch and rifled it down left field line. RBI double for Dean. Now batting third baseman number 14, Jaden Bedford. So we are once again tied at 3-3. And the runner just trades places with his teammate. The batter is Jaden Bedford, who popped out to short on the first pitch second inning.
And this is what you love to see, right? This is a district battle. We're halfway through this ball game, tied 3-3. Armando's looking good. Man, what a night.
That was an absolute beautiful first pitch. A curveball fell right in there for strike 1, 0-1 the count. Armando looking in to get the sign, comes set. Here's the windup and the pitch, and just throws it. Going to be fouled off, out of play not sure what it hit, but we had a nice sound effect. 0-2 the count. I mean, that is what's important in a baseball game. The sound effects, everybody loves the sound effects. 0-2 count. Armando looks in. Hasn't checked the runner recently. There he checks the runner. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be grounded to third base, just foul. So the 0-2 count stays at 0-2. That was almost a little too nice of a pitch. You got a couple pitches you can waste here. I don't know about you, but if I'm the catcher here, I'm calling that outside pitch that's been called 3 feet off the plate the first 3 innings and see if I can get a cheap strike 3 call.
100%. I think I'm using what we call the river, that place in between the outside part of the plate and the other batter's box, a little piece of dirt right there. And, I think it's shown that we might be able to get one on that
Hey, with all the rain we've had, the river's high. So
there you go. That's right. Yeah, fastball off the plate here. My best versus your best. Let's see what we can do.
Here's the windup and the pitch, and he just throws it inside. It's going to be fouled off to keep the count at 0-2.
Just setting him up, right? Just kind of getting him out on that front foot to maybe blow one past him.
The other pitch I've always liked in an 0-2 count, of course, this is the 9-hole, so I'm not sure how aggressive this kid is, but the high eyeball fastball, because it just looks so good, and how many times you see a kid just swing over it. And there's another fastball on the inside corner, going to be fouled off by Bedford. Bedford's favorite 70s song, Staying Alive, Staying Alive.
Seems like the scouting report on Jaden Bedford here is work in, and Armando's doing a really good job of doing that right now. I think you've set yourself up, too, to maybe work some off the plate here, breaking ball or fastball. You're 0-2. You've got pitches to spare, trying to get out of the inning here.
He's right up against the line of the batter's box. That's part of the reason I'm not sure really working him inside. Just kind of how that's all right. Waste a pitch up high, changes eye level, brings the count to 1-2 with 2 outs. Runner on second. Game tied at 3. Armando Gomez looking in, getting his sign. Here it comes set. Checks the runner. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's a ball 2. I like it though. Once again.
Great pitch, even better take there from Bedford. I mean, that's hard to lay off of 1-2, but really good baseball play there. Well executed pitch and a good take.
2 well-coached teams battling here today. 2-2 the count with 2 outs, so we got deuces across the board. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be fouled out of play for another foul ball. Back in the day, you could get a ice cream cone or a popsicle or a ring pop for those. Not sure if that's still the case. Might be showing my age a little bit. Broken Arrow brings a few baseballs out.
Looks like Carson and Armando are trying to get on the same page with that runner on second base, making sure he's not picking their signs. They're doing a good job right now of mixing up signs from Carson, but might want to change it up here. Got nothing to lose.
Yeah, a lot of times with a runner on second base, you will see teams stealing signs. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's going to be grounded to third base, and once again, foul. Bedford doing a really nice job of battling here. Saw a really interesting Facebook discussion today by a former minor league baseball pitcher talking about should pitchers be allowed to call their own game or shake off pitches. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that maybe later in the next inning, but here's the windup and the pitch outside, working the count full. So Bedford's worked the count full after being down 0-2 in the count. Fouling off several pitches. Now he's got a full count.
It's a really good quality at bat from your 9-hole hitter there. You're really happy with no matter the outcome if you're Coach Dobbins over there with what your 9-hole's doing.
Full count. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be popped up to second base. Nice job by Riche there to call off everyone and to record the out. So the Tigers will get 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
He's a really good kid, isn't he?
Oh, great kid. Yeah. Great kid.
And welcome back to Red Hawk baseball. Leading off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Red Hawks. Third baseman number 3, Zach Oliver. So once again, we are back live. Let's see if we can answer like we did the last time. Oliver, who reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning, will be followed by Tahara and then Brooks.
Yeah, Scott, kind of going back to your question before the break, pitchers calling their own games, right?
And it really was, how do you feel about them shaking off a pitch to getting to a pitch they like better?
Yeah, I think that's totally part of that pitcher-catcher relationship as well as the coach. But I remember when calling games for our guys, I wanted my guy to be confident, and if he wasn't confident in the pitch he was about to throw, then that's the last thing I want for him, and he wants to do as well. So, you feel good about the scouting report you've got put together and in your approach to each hitter, but at the same time, you got to trust the guy on the mound to every now and then have a little say-so here and throw something he really likes.
And once again, we got that outside strike, and Oliver is quickly behind 0-2. That was exactly what the guy that I was referring to said, the exact same thing. He said, you've given me the game plan, trust me to execute. Here's the windup and the pitch, 0-2, and that's going to be strike 3, I'm sure, because, yeah, that was too close to take. So Oliver strikes out looking.
Really well executed 0-2 fastball off the plate there.
Now batting first baseman number 7, Sidonio Tahara. I hope I'm saying that right. I feel like I am. I'm getting reassured in the booth. That's a really cool name to say. And the first pitch is going to be fouled out of play for strike 1. Oh, that hit the top of the concession stand, and it looked like a puddle of water jumped up. Probably a little standing water up there after all the rain we had on the last week. 0-1 the count to Tahara. Wind up and the pitch. He's going to swing over the top of that one for strike 2. Thiel took a little bit off that last pitch, and Tahara swung right over the top. 0-2 count. Here's the wind up and the pitch, and that's going to be ball 1. Must have been just down because that's been called a strike all day long and twice the last inning.
Absolutely. You could definitely tell Luke, catcher for Broken Arrows, really working outside and taking advantage of all that room over there for a strike, but a good take there.
That's ball 2 to make the count 2-2. Tahara at the plate. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be okay. Ball 3. I think everyone in the press box and Luke Franks all thought that was strike 3, but we'll take it. 3-2 count with 1 out to Tahara. Here's the payoff pitch. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be grounded up the middle, off the mound to the shortstop. He's going to lob it over, and that is going to be an out. So after singling the last time up, Tahara will ground out to short to record the second out of the inning. Now batting catcher number 2, Carson Brooks. So Brooks steps up to the plate. Carson struck out the last inning, or the last time up to bat. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's that nice little curse. That's more of a slider, I think, and it was low for ball 1.
The slurve.
Slurve. Well, I thought it was a slurve. I'm about to say slurve.
No, I think.
Does anybody throw a slurve anymore?
I think you could call it either one. You could call it a slider. You could call it a flat breaking ball. You could call it a flat curve ball.
That's just a fastball right down the middle there. For
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
really looking to hunt Carson.
I think the pitch that everyone used to call a slurve is now a slider. I guess it's how you hold it, or depends on who the pitcher is, because that ball's going to be fouled out. And nice job by Coach Justin Brown. Oh, showing off the arm. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Did you see him pounding those shit?
Former college shortstop at UCO and NOC Enid. Funny story about Coach Brown and I. We actually played against each other in college.
Here's the windup and the pitch inside 2-2. And who won?
You know, it's funny. I think if you were to go back and look, and I'm not sure exactly. I think UCO has the win over NSU. I think 3-2.
Okay.
So,
well, we now have a 3-2 count, ironically. So we have a full count with 2 outs. To Brooks. Here's a windup and the pitch, and he will swing and miss to record the third out. The Redhawks are down in order.
Hey, Union fans, score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Union Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
And welcome back to Union Red Hawk Baseball on the Union Sports Network. We have an outstanding baseball game going on right now. 3-3 going to the 5th inning. The Tigers scored 2 in the first and 1 in the 4th. The Red Hawks scored 2 in the second and 1 in the 3rd. Both pitchers have done an outstanding job of pitching. Been some great timely hitting by both teams. And looking forward to seeing how the last 3 innings go on this game.
Yeah, it's been a great game so far. Like you said, both pitchers are working really well. It's going to come down to the wire. I think if you're Union, you're really trying to ride Armando and keep playing really good defense behind him. He's doing everything he can to keep this in the game, including scoring some runs, right?
He had that leadoff double to start the second inning, and then the very close running to third that we all thought he might have been out, but hey, the umpire right there said nope, that the tag was missed, and then he was able to score on the single later in the inning.
That's right.
And it looks like our catcher has put his gear back on. That's the only thing about the catcher being the last out of the last inning. That's happened a couple of times in this game, but it delays the game a little bit. Leading off the top of the 5th inning for the Tigers. The top of the order, shortstop number 7, Jacob Lopez. So Lopez, who is 0 for 2 tonight, he has popped out to third and grounded out to second. Will try to get his offensive game going. Looks like we have some technology issues once again. It's like the umpire wanted the earbud in his ear so he could hear what the pitch call was. And it looks like we've got the technology fixed, so here's the first pitch of the top of the 5th. Armando looks in, winds up, and delivers. Called strike one. Beautiful curveball over the inside corner. Armando doing a really good job of mixing up his pitches and his angles. Gets ahead in the count 0-1. Here's the windup and the pitch. There's that, well, the one we're not sure how to call that was called a ball. And
looks like Carson just asked, I think that call out there has been given so far. It looks like he called it ball because it being up, but Armando comes back with a really good curve ball there for strike 2.
Yeah, and I like Carson looking back and just saying, hey, where was that? And the umpire being saying, oh, this is where it was. So now you can adjust for your pitcher. It gets ahead 1-2 on the top of the order, Jacob Lopez. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be grounded short. Cody Young up with it, throws it. Nice stretch there by Tahara to record that first out.
Cody Young's just so smooth over there at shortstop. He's had a number of opportunities tonight and executed well, playing that spot really well.
His walk-up song should be Smooth Operator. Now batting right fielder number 4, Cannon Bedford. I'm not going to lie, I love this name, Cannon Bedford. It's kind of like Gunner Gundy. It just sounds like, Gunners should be a quarterback, pitcher. Here's a windup and the first pitch going to be taken high for ball 1. How about Stillwater High School having probably 2 number 1 overall draft picks in, 3 years?
I think.
The Holiday Boys?
Right.
That's pretty
Jackson.
good. That's pretty good. Here's a windup and the pitch going to be fouled off. Not sure Bedford really wanted us to bunt that. He kind of, the way he held the bat, he was like, do I want to or not? But ball got on him so fast he had to reach out and just bunt it foul.
Looks like from Coach Dobson over there at the third base line. It looks like bunting is something he's willing to take advantage of, especially with somebody as athletic as Cannon Bedford.
That's called strike 2 for 1-2 count as Armando jumps ahead in the count. Pitcher's count 1-2 to Bedford, who's flown out to center and grounded out to short. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's just a little high for ball 2 to even the count at 2-2. I like how he's changing his levels, and I like how he's working fast. Armando gets the pitch, gets the call, and just starts pitching. Here's the pitch. Once again, a little high to make the count full, 3-2 now. This kid hasn't been on base yet. You want to bear down here and throw a ball and make him at least swing the bat. 3-2 the count. Armando gets the sign. Here's a windup and the pitch.
There we go.
Strike 3. This umpire is not very, how would you say it? Well, and he doesn't, not very demonstrative or animated. There you go. Thank you. Everybody knew what I was trying to say. Now batting the center fielder, number 22, Javen Devine. So the batter was about 6 steps out of the batter's box the other way, and when he heard he was going back to the dugout for the strikeout victim. Here's the pitch by Armando. Going to be popped up to left field, and
what a play.
An outstanding diving catch made by Devin Blackwell to retire the side. And welcome back to Union Baseball on the Union Red Hawk Network, Union Sports Network. What an outstanding catch there by Devin Blackwell to rob the Tigers of an extra base hit, because if he doesn't make that catch, it is going to be at least a double and possibly a triple, because he laid out to make the diving catch. And if that ball gets by him, that runner at least gets a triple and may have scored an in-the-park home run.
Yeah, absolutely great job.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Red Hawks, right fielder number 15, Gavin Wilhelm.
Great job by Devin there to, again, you're just giving confidence to Armando, like, hey, I can be in the zone, I can induce contact, and my defense is going to work really hard behind me. And really, really great play there from Devin Blackwell.
Absolutely. First pitch is a foul off by Gavin. Looks like Thiel just wants to throw the gas against our 9-hole. Here's the windup and the pitch. Nope, as he throws a slurve. And it catches the outside corner or the inside corner. It caught a corner, caught something. It's quickly 0-2 to Wilhelm. Wilhelm grounded out to short, first time up in the 2nd inning. Here's the windup and the pitch. That ball is high for ball 1. 1-2 the count now. Big Landon Thiel, the Broken Arrow ace on the mound still. Here's the windup and the slurve. That's a beautiful pitch. That's one as a batter you just tip your head and say, hey, nice pitch. I'm going to go have a seat on the bench.
Unfortunately, yes.
Top of the order, shortstop number 6, Cody Young.
Yeah, you could kind of get a feeling that that's what he was setting up with the 0-2 fastball up in the zone, similar to what you said. If you don't get a swing on that pitch, you kind of have your next one picked out for you there. And
I personally think that's his best pitch that I've seen. That slurve or whatever he is throwing, it's it's got some late action, and it moves well, and called strike one on that very pitch.
Well, what's interesting is when you see Luke Franks kind of hold that glove up and arm side, I think what he's doing is giving Landon, like, hey, throw it here, but let it break down and into a lefty, kind of just giving him a start line. Like right now it's probably going to be a yep.
Nice call by you, and that was a foul off, but 0-2 count remains.
Yeah, you can see him kind of, and that could be something they've communicated in the dugout, like, hey, throw it here, let that thing work down and into this lefty. Looking for probably a fastball.
Nice call. It's going to be fouled, just foul. And as a batter, when you batted, I'm going to ask, I would assume you can see out your peripheral where the catcher's setting his glove, so you're seeing that high ball. So you're thinking, okay, it's going there, and then the ball breaks to where it down low like that, and you're swinging over the ball.
Yeah, I think Luke Franks is doing a good enough job to setting up late to not give that away per se, but it could be something that you pick up on deck, right? It just, all right, you're giving away the pitch, so you might be able to see maybe a different arm slot or different timing altogether.
Nice job by the left fielder for BA on that. It looked like that ball might just drop, but the wind has just gone dead here at Red Hawk Field. Now batting second baseman number 8, Isaac Ariche. So Ariche, who grounded to second and then singled to start out this as a two-hole or second batter of the third, will now come up with 2 outs, and the game tied at 3. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that's that slurve. That's such a nice pitch, strike one.
What he's doing a good job of right now, I think, is what is called tunneling, right? You're delivering the pitch from the same kind of arm slot. It's staying in this little tunnel until that very last second. It's kind of breaking off to the outer half. He's
Okay, you guys, this is really funny. The pitcher's dad for Broken Arrow just said that ball was 3 yards outside. So we're all seeing it. It's not just a Union thing. But, hey, as a pitcher's dad, you're going to take that all night long and twice on Monday night. Count is 1-2 to the second baseman for Union. Here's the windup and the pitch. That I like how he can deliver it to the inside or the outside corner. He's got, like you said, he's got that arm slot the same, but he's confident in throwing it inside, outside. And when you can throw that same pitch inside or outside, it makes it tough to hit.
Yeah, absolutely. That breaking ball starting on that front hip and breaking into that inner half, it's tough to stay on for sure.
And Ariche does get a hold of that one, but it's going to be in the foul territory. And a nice play by the second baseman for BA, who almost overran it, but will record the out. So after 5, we're still tied at 3. And welcome back to Union Baseball on the Union Sports Network. Glad you're with us tonight. Redhawks are in a great game against the BA Tigers in District 6A4 action. Game is tied 3-3 as we go to the 6th inning.
Yeah, you're getting a great mix of baseball tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting some offensive production, some great defense with Devin Blackwell laying out down the line, and some great pitching from Landon and Armando as well. This is a great mix of baseball, and what a beautiful night for it.
and some outstanding music as well. I'm loving the playlist that's being played. Leading off the top of the 6th inning for the Tigers, catcher number 17, Luke Franks.
As somebody who's been to a lot of baseball games in my life, this is as a spectator what you want to see. You want to see some runs scored, but you also want to see some good pitching and then some defense behind it, you know.
First pitch is fouled off by Franks, and I agree 100%. This is a fun baseball game. Both teams are competing, and here's the windup and the pitch, and that's going to be called strike 2, and that was a nice pitch over the outside corner. I love the placement. Great job of framing by Mr. Brooks.
Yeah, Carson did a good job of getting that pitch down and away.
A little gamesmanship by the catcher for BA, Franks, who stepped out to get Armando's rhythm off, and now he's going to slice that foul.
Again, really, really good pitch there. I wouldn't hate a breaking ball away off the plate. Maybe get a ball and then go fastball in, 1-2 count. I think that plays to both of his strengths. If you get the swing and miss, obviously great. If not, you've kind of set up the fastball in for your 1-2 count.
Absolutely. So 0-2 count to the catcher, Franks. Mondo looks. Here's the windup and the pitch. He's going to swing and make contact, grounded to third base for the easy 5-3 putout.
Even better, he just skipped a step, right? Instead of throwing the breaking ball away, let's just go to that fastball in, get up on the hands.
Absolutely. And so 4 pitches and an out. Now batting first baseman number 18, Brody Tedesco. So Tedesco, who reached on error and grounded to short, is 0 for 2 tonight. Armando Gomez looking in, getting the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. Throws a fastball right down the middle. Nice job of hitting by Tedesco just to take it the other way for the 1-out single.
I mean, I was thinking the same thing that Gavin Wilhelm was thinking, that hard ground ball or the hard line drive to right field. Maybe sneaking an out at first base there, huh?
Courtesy runner number 16, Jack Gardner. Now batting second baseman number 1, Brock Natali. That's a nice job of hitting, and I agree. A lot of times when a batter hits a ball like that, they'll kind of, I'm only going to get a single, so they don't hustle out of the box. And nice job by Mr. Wilhelm to throw back and see if he can catch one. Here's a windup and the first pitch, going to be a called strike on the nice curveball by Armando. Armando Gomez, who's given up 4 hits tonight.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see some action here, whether it's a bunt, steal, hit and run, something to just get a runner at second base in a tight ball game right now.
Here's a windup and shows bunt. He's going to bunt it back to the pitcher. Pitcher's going to go to first for the out. That's a smart baseball play. He did a nice job of not trying to force things at second. Got the 1-3 put out, and now has 2 outs. Just needs 1 more to get us out of the inning. Now batting the designated hitter number 2, Jaden Sharp. Sharp, who singled to lead off the second and then struck out in the 4th, comes up with a runner in second. I will say both teams have had guys up in the bullpens getting loose. Both bullpens are not very active. There are still guys down there. I think they're probably heated up enough, although a Broken Arrow coach is walking down to the BA bullpen right now. So we might see a new pitcher in the bottom of the inning for the Tigers.
Yeah, one thing I like to see is Jackson Franklin for Union up in the bullpen right now. I got a chance to coach Jackson in football this year, and man, if you could pick a kid to be on your team, it's Jackson Franklin. He's just a pure competitor, and really excited to see if he can come out into this game and kind of just shut the door, right? Get a run or 2 across the board and let Jackson come in and finish it off.
That first pitch was called a strike, I guess. He showed bunt and made an effort. Did go off the catcher's glove and fortunately bounced in front of the catcher, so the runner was not able to advance. Here's the 0-1 count. Called strike 2. That's right on the outside corner. That's a nice pitch. That's not one of those 3 feet outside. That was a nice outside corner pitch. Oh, he's calling it 1-1. So apparently we all thought it was strike, but the guy in blue did not. Here's the windup and the pitch. Now it's strike two. See, we knew it was coming. We were just trying to save the umpire some time. 1-2 the count, 2 outs, runner on second. Not taking much of a lead out there at second base and not really being held on either. So here's the look back and the windup and the pitch, and that's going to be looped out to second. It's going to fall. We're going to have a play at the plate. Here's the ball. And it's going to be an RBI single, and he will advance on the throw. So Sharp comes in clutch for the Tigers. Just did what you have to do, put the bat on the ball, and it traveled just enough to the out. It was just in that Bermuda's triangle right behind second base, and our center fielder was playing a little too far out.
Yeah, just really unlucky. Really good pitch from Armando there.
12, Colin Dean.
And just able to get enough bat on it from Jaden Sharp there to score the run.
All right, so the Tigers have retaken the lead 4-3. Here's the windup and the pitch. Strike one called. Now we're all going to want that strike back that the umpire took off the board because it would have been strike three looking. And Mr. Sharp said, I'm going to take advantage of that. But, hey, just reduce, just only give up the one run and you're going to be all right. Here's a foul ball into the Broken Arrow bullpen. And quickly, Gomez up 0-2.
It's really what you like to see there, giving up an unfortunate RBI single. That little blooper over the second baseman coming back and throwing 2 strikes to go 0-2 with 2 outs here.
0-2 count. Gomez has the sign. He'll look, and here's the pitch. And that's going to be ball one. I like the placement of that. High. Tried to get the batter to swing over the top of that. Like I talked about earlier, that high heater is hard to lay off, but a good job by Mr. Dean to lay off there. Bring the count to 1-2. Gomez looking in, getting the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. Number 2 on second base. So lots of 2s out there right now.
Yeah, I think you're okay with staying firm here. Really just challenging this guy with your best pitch. I believe the double he hit in the 4th was off of that off-speed pitch. So it looks like we're going fastball in. I like it.
And you're right, and he fouls it off, barely making contact. I think I'd come right back with that same pitch and see if he can foul it off twice in a row.
It's such a weapon being able to go fastball into righties. I mean, that's such a hard pitch. You don't have a lot of room to work with. If you go too far in, you hit the batter. If you don't go in enough, it's over the heart of the plate. So really well done there from Armando.
The wind has gone totally dead. The flag is not moving at all. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be grounded to short. Cody Young up with it. Across the field to first base Tahara for the out. But the Tigers do get the 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and leave 1 man stranded. And welcome back to Union Sports Network. Scott McCrary here along with Tristan Ridenauer. And Tristan, we've been treated to a really good baseball game. Redhawks down 4-3 going to the bottom of 6th inning, but have the 3, 4, 5 holes coming up. So the heart of the order coming up and time to make something happen.
Yeah, I think it starts with Asher working a good AB here, trying to get a leadoff man on. Got some power and some speed coming up behind him. Really.
Now batting center fielder number 11, Asher Fowler.
Really giving you some good offensive options for Coach Newkirk.
You and I were just talking off air that we think that Landon Thiel will probably go the distance unless he gets in trouble. He's still showing that he's got a lot of
gas in the tank, right?
Yeah, gas in the tank. Thank you. His changeup was working. His slurve's working. Still showing some speed on his fastball. That first ball was a ball. And that's going to be fouled off for strike one.
It looks like he's got a really good feel for 3 pitches right now. And when you can throw 3 pitches in the zone, I mean, you're going to be a really effective pitcher.
That's why you're an ace, right?
That's right.
1-1 the count to the leadoff batter, Asher Fowler, center fielder for the Redhawks. Here's a windup and the pitch. That's going to be a right through the 5-hole. 5-hole?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, she went through the umpire and the catcher. So that would be 2 balls, right? Isn't that how that works? Double nickel. Nice. Here's a windup and the pitch. That's going to be sliced down the right field line. Just barely missed keeping that fair, but does even the count 2-2. No outs. And I like what you said. We need a good leadoff bat. Just find a way to get on. Get hit by the ball. Get a walk. Get a single. Find a way. Outrun an infield hit. Find a way. 2-2 the count. Here's one up and the pitch. And he's staying alive. Tops it off. Fouls it off.
Yeah, Landon's doing a good job right now of throwing some quality pitches, and Asher is doing equally as good of a job in fighting some of those off with 2 strikes here.
It does appear that the action in the Broken Arrow bullpen has started back up. Looks like he's not just playing soft toss. He's actually throwing some pitches. So here's a windup and the pitch. It's going to be fouled out again. I wonder how many baseballs are lost a year in that creek over there on the left-hand side of the Red Hawk Stadium. Because I'm pretty sure there's a creek that runs alongside.
I believe you're right.
And then, of course, the home run balls when the wind's blowing south. That ball is way outside. 3-2 the count. So Fowler has worked the count full. 3-2 count, no outs. Find a way to get on. Here's a windup and the pitch. He's going to send that out to left field. That might be. That's gone. Leadoff solo home run for Asher Fowler.
What a great piece of hitting there from Asher Fowler. Seeing the ball well, letting it travel deep. Really a lot of backspin there to hit an oppo bomb. Great swing.
That's a solo leadoff home run for Mr. Asher Fowler. Now batting the designated hitter, number 25, Armando Gomez. I believe they call that an oppo taco.
Oppo taco, that's right.
So tacos are on Mr. Fowler tonight.
Man, you want to talk about clutch. You got Asher Fowler hitting the ball the other way. Tons of backspin. That thing just carried all the way over the wall.
And there is absolutely no wind, so that was all Asher on that, taking that, I assume, fastball over the left field fence. First pitch to Mr. Gomez is a strike for 0-1 count, and then he swings over the top of the slurve for strike 2. I think Armando saw what Asher did and said, oh, I want part of this action. Swung hard on that one, but is down 0-2 in the count. And that's going to be down the third base line. This is going to be tough. He's going to beat it out. That was actually an outstanding play by the third baseman to get over to that, but his momentum took him outside the third base line. He had to turn and regroup. I think they're trying to decide it that since he's the designated hitter, if they're going to use, would it be a pinch runner or a courtesy runner since he's also the pitcher?
I think that's kind of something that they're trying to discuss and figure out right now. That's that one's actually been a tricky one in my experience with your pitcher.
Okay, looks like we're playing. Now batting left fielder number 19, Devin Blackwell.
With your pitcher also hitting, which I believe is the reason why we have not yet seen a courtesy runner for Armando. So he's getting a chance to run the bases and score some runs for himself, right?
Love it.
Now, this is exactly what you want, right? If you're Union, you start off, obviously, Asher with a great piece of hitting a home run to get the game tied up, and then you get Armando on.
The coaches were still over there trying to figure out if they were going to use a courtesy runner. And Devin Blackwell's like, can I get the signs? Oh, and he's going to hit it right back to the shortstop for an easy 6. That's actually a 6 unassisted to 6-4 double play.
man, you can't help but wonder if there was a missed sign or something there, you know. I mean,
yeah, the first baseman from BA charged the mound or charged the plate. Now batting third baseman number 3, Zach Oliver. And because it didn't look like the runner went until the contact was made, so I don't think it was a hit and run. I don't think it was a butt either. First pitch is a strike as he swings over the top of it. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's high for ball 1 to count, even level the count at 1-1. Well, just like that, the threat is over, so it's time to start a new threat for Zach Oliver. That ball is good. That's our strike. That's out. That one that we're questioning every time, but it was called strike, so the 1-2 the count now to Oliver. Oliver reached on a fielder's choice and struck out looking in the 4th. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Nice job of Mr. Franks to stab that to make it 2-2. Of course, it doesn't matter. There's no runners on the bases. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Here's the windup and the pitch, and he will swing and miss for strike number 3. But the Red Hawks do tie it up on the solo shot by Asher Fowler. And welcome back to Union Baseball on the Union Sports Network. We are in a tight one. 4-4 going to the top of the 7th. This could come down to who makes the critical error or the critical swing of the bat or the critical pitch.
Kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. I mean, you're getting an array of great baseball tonight. Now you get a display of some power from Asher Fowler to tie the game at 4.
We're going to have a pinch hitter coming up to bat for the Tigers to lead off the top of the 7th. We have a Bedford for another Bedford. Your attention, please. Leading off the top of the 7th for the Tigers, pinch hitter number 3, Tanner Bedford. So
3 Bedfords.
There's a lot of Bedfords. So Bedford is standing. He's confused though because he's turned back around the wrong way. He's batting one from the left side. These kids are confused when they do that. I'm just kidding. Here's the first pitch, right down the middle for strike 1 to Bedford. Nice job by Armando to get ahead in the count. Would love a very easy inning and get our bats back up for the bottom of the 7th.
100%.
Here's the windup and the pitch. That was apparently just outside. Apparently you only get that call on to the right hand of it.
Yeah, checking in on pitch counts. I know Landon is climbing up into the low to mid hundreds, but Armando's still, I think, coming towards the peak of that pitch count, starting to get into that 90s range, but still looks really good and in control right now.
There is action in the Red Hawk dugout. 1-1 the count to the pinch hitter, Tanner Bedford. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be grounded to second. Nice job to record the out by Mr. Ariche. So, pinch hitter grounds out 4-3. Should be the top of the order, and it is. Now batting top of the order, shortstop, number 7, Jacob Lopez. So Lopez is 0 for 3. He's popped out to his third base, grounded out to second, and grounded out to short. So he's involved the entire infield except the first baseman, so let's just line out to first. Or ground out to the pitcher. First pitch swinging, going to ground out 4-3.
What a play.
Nice job by Riche, charging the ball and making the throw over to Tahara.
What a play by Isaac there. You can kind of see he did a good job of having the positive moves towards the baseball, getting that short hop and out of his glove quickly. What a great play for the second out of the inning.
Now batting right field number 4, Cannon Medford. A lot of people don't realize that there is an art to approaching a ground ball. It's not just, you definitely don't wait for it, especially with a speedy runner. You want to take your steps so that you're coming towards the ball and also turning towards the bag you're going to throw out. That's what happened that last inning is why we got the hit on third base, because his momentum was taking him away from the play that he had to turn and throw. And you're not going to see many kids throwing guys out from third to fifth. Oh, Dan Newman is in the house, ladies and gentlemen, going to get that foul ball. Dan Newman, ladies and gentlemen, he's a legend. I'm going to say something after this. Oh, ball one. The legendary Dan Newman getting that foul ball. Thank you, sir. So now the count is 1-1 to the 2-hole. Cannon Medford. Cannon flew out to center, grounded out to short, and struck out looking in the 5th. So he is also over 3. So the top 3 batters, the table setters for the Tigers, are now a combined 0 for 9 with a walk.
I think that's just a testament to how well Armando is making those pressure pitches and just getting the leadoff guys out. I think that's huge and why this game is still 4-4.
Ball 2 to Bedford. Armando appears to be a little overthrowing now. Oh, there's a foul off to make it 2-2. I'd like to see him come back to that off-speed pitch he's had so much luck with. But maybe with the 2-2 count, what are you calling here?
Yeah, I think the table is set. You've established that we do have the get me over breaker. Armando is able to kind of pick his poison here. I think if I'm pitching my best pitch.
Ball 3. So we have a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Really want to bear down here and get your out, even though the next batter, Divine, is 0 for 2 with a walk. You would really like to get your bats back to the plate. Here's the windup and the pitch. And he overthrows that one. He was just trying to throw that as hard as he could, and he gives up the 2-out walk. Bedford draws a 2-out walk. Now batting the center fielder, number 22, Jamin Divine. So now you got some speed on the base pass and some speed at the plate. Coaching defense, the coaches are telling them nothing behind you, keep everything in front of you. They're adjusting the defense. They want the center fielder to play a little more to the
pull side of the hitter.
Pull side of the hitter. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's going to be low for ball 1.
Yeah, I think Armando, it's really important right now to change his timing, right? Give the runner at first base a couple different looks. Don't want to be pitching from the same, we call it a UCL kind of timing.
I didn't see the call. He called that a ball. Interesting. That's one of those that I thought looked pretty close, but Divine has worked the count 2-0, and catcher Carson Brooks is going to go out and talk to his pitcher, Armando Gomez, who's
I think
he's a little frustrated after that ball 4.
I
could tell he was frustrated himself.
Yeah, I think if I'm Carson, if I had to guess what Carson's telling Armando there, it's just, hey, we got 2 outs, man. Your stuff's good enough. Just go out, attack this guy, let the defense work behind you, get out of the inning, go score the game-winning run.
2-0 count. Here's the windup and the pitch. Shows bunt. Going to throw back behind him again. Did we have ball? He called that one ball 3 as well. And coaching staff don't like that very much, especially since he's squared to bunt. Looked like it was right down the pipe, but maybe not. 3-0 count. So now know where I would assume the batter's going to take. Here's the windup and the pitch, and straight down Broadway for strike one. So 3-1 the count. 2 outs, runner on first. Really want to get him to put the ball in play here.
Yeah, I think if you're Dobson, you're sending this runner kind of hoping for a built-in. Yeah.
Well, he's going to walk, and I wonder if we might see some action or see a new pitcher. We do have a coach going out to talk. To pitcher Armando Gomez. I haven't seen him indicate he wants the new pitcher yet. So, what are you saying as the coach right here?
You know, I think it looks like they're going to stick with him. And in your meeting there is I think similarly to what Carson might have told him is you know, hey, this is what we've got coming up. We've got 2 outs. Your defense is playing really, really well behind you. Don't over pitch, right? Just stick to what you've been doing, what's gotten you here, and remind them like you're the guy for a reason. You know, you're the guy for the reason, and this is that reason to go out and get the big out when you need it.
Well, you're one pitch away from being out of the inning.
100%. I mean,
Luke
Frantz
probably telling the defense, hey, we got runners at first and second. We got to play at first, second, or third. Keep everything in front of you. Don't force things. If we have a ball off someone, don't throw it away because, you know, live to have the next batter. Now, batting catcher number 17, Luke Franks.
100%, and you can see our infield right now is playing really, really big, meaning you just cannot give up a double play. So you got the corners hook, or a double, sorry, there we go.
And that's going to go to third base. Oh, woo! That was a little closer than I like. Nice job by Zach Oliver to make the play. But 1 pitch, 1 out, and we go to the bottom of 7, tied at 4. Now pitching from Broken Arrow, number 8, Danny Turnham. And welcome back to Union Baseball on the Union Sports Network. Broken Arrow has gone to the bullpen, bringing in Danny Turnham, turning it over. So starting pitcher Landon Thiel will get the no decision. Goes 6 innings, gives up 4 runs on 5 hits. Threw a little over 100 pitches. Gave up, let's see, no walks. 1 walk maybe?
No walks.
No walks, so hits and outs.
That's right. No.
Leading off the bottom of the 7th inning for the Red Hawks. First baseman, number 7, Sidonio Tahara.
No, you got to be really pleased if you're Coach Dobb over there for Broken Arrow with your starting pitcher's performance there, going 6, giving up a few runs, giving up some hits, but ultimately pitching a really good game and keeping you in it. And that's all you can ask for from your starting pitcher.
So 7, 8, 9 due up for the Red Hawks. The only one, Tahara, with a single in the 2nd. The rest have not reached base yet. So, but hey, what a better time than now to change that up. It looks like we actually have a pinch hitter on deck. First pitch is going to be a called strike on the outside corner. Looks like Chris Weinbarger is on deck. Oh, and 1 count. Here's windup and the pitch. Oh, nice little slurve right down the. That's a beautiful pitch. Little
slurve, like you said,
slurve,
right?
and it's a different angle because this pitcher's not as tall as the starter, Landon Thiel. 0-2 count. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's going to be outside. Oh, now I'm telling you, if the umpire would have called that a strike, I think everybody in the stadium would have gone down there. That ball was nice try by catcher Mr. Franks trying to pull that one back in, but that thing was way outside. 1-2 the count.
Looks like he's coming back to it.
And makes contact, but fouls it into the glove for strike 3. So Tara strikes out to lead off the inning. Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for the Red Hawks. Number 12, Chris Weinbarger. And so Chris steps in. Chris Weinbarger will be the pinch hitter for the Red Hawks. Down. High ball 1. As a pinch hitter, that's kind of first pitch you want to see. Don't have to think about that one. Now you can settle down and see what you can hit. As a pinch hitter, are you looking for one pitch to hit, or what are you doing here? What's your approach?
That right there.
That right
there.
there. You go. A single through the left side. That's a nice job of hitting. Sees the first pitch he likes, takes it into left field for the 1-out single.
I think if you are.
Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner or re-entry. Number 5. Excuse me, sorry. Your attention, please. Pinch running for the Red Hawks. Number 5, Aiden Madsen. Now batting for the Red Hawks, right fielder number 15, Gavin Wilhelm.
Man, what a great job there by Chris Weinbarger coming in off the bench for a pinch hit single. One of the harder things to do, I think, in all of sports is, 1, just hit a baseball in general, but 2, to come in without any previous at-bats and hit a hard ball through the infield is an impressive job, and job well done by Chris Weinbarger there.
And it's been a beautiful day, but now that the sun's down, it's gotten a little chillier. So you've been sitting over there in the dugout, you're a little chilled, and get a great job of hitting there. Here's the windup and the pitch right down the middle for strike 1. Nice pitch there by Turnham. Turnham says, that's all right. I'm just going to throw right down the middle.
Yeah, I think Coach Newkirk's got some action working here. I don't see anything wrong with a bunt with your 9-hole hitter, maybe force an error.
Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be hit through the left side.
There we go. Very well done.
That will do the job to move the runner into scoring position. So the Red Hawks now have back-to-back hits and have the winning run at second base at the top of the order coming up.
Gavin
now
Wilhelm.
batting the top of the order, shortstop number 6, Cody Young.
Gavin Wilhelm with a great piece of hitting there, hitting a hard ground ball through the right side. And like you said, putting the game-winning run in scoring position with 1 out here. Cody Young is due, man. He's due.
Cody 0 for 3 on the night. He flew out to left, grounded out to second, and flew out to left the last time up. It was actually a pretty nice play by the left fielder last time because it was that little looping ball that looked like it was going to just drop, and the left fielder came on fast and made a nice catch to record the out. So 1 out, runners on first and second. I'm old school. I'm bunting here, but that's just me. I don't know. Top of the order, what are you doing?
I think if I'm Cody, I'm trying to hit a ball hard. And
there's the bunt. Back to the pitcher who tries to go. He starts to go to third, throws it away. He throws it away, and that's going to be the game. That's going to be the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Red Hawks win 5-4.
What a great job there by Cody Young and getting the bunt down. I mean, it kind of goes to show you just got to hang in there, going 0-4 until that at bat and getting the game-winning bunt done.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the ball game. Final score: Red Hawks 5, Tigers 4. Ladies and gentlemen, what a ball game. Red Hawks, is that right? 10 hits? 9 hits. I'm going to guess that last one would probably be scored a fielder's choice and then an error because he started to go to third base. But doesn't matter. Cody Young put it into play, and I said, it's just, who's going to make the big hit. We had 2 timely hits and then the big error for Broken Arrow, and the Red Hawks win 5-4.
That's right, the bottom half of the lineup getting the job done, turning it over for those guys on the top half, and Cody Young getting the job done, playing some really team-first baseball there and getting the bunt down and forcing the defense to make a play. What a great night.
Red Hawks with a great District 4 win. That moves them into within 1 game of Broken Arrow as they will travel to Broken Arrow tomorrow night. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for coming out tonight or for watching the broadcast. Our next broadcast will be next week of Friday Soccer. So tune in for Friday Soccer. Once again, Red Hawks win 5-4. Have a great night.